Have you ever noticed that the more you understand yourself, the harder it becomes to simply exist? You notice your patterns. You catch your own thoughts. You understand why you react the way you do. And from the outside, that sounds like a gift. But here's the part nobody talks about. Being self-aware can be exhausting because once you start seeing yourself clearly, you can't really unsee it. Here's the psychology behind the hidden cost of being self-aware. You overanalyze everything you feel. Most people feel an emotion and move on. But self-aware people pause, they question it. Why did that bother me? Was I jealous? Was I insecure? Was I projecting something from my past? This is where emotional intelligence becomes both powerful and painful. Because yes, you understand yourself better. But sometimes you turn every feeling into a full investigation. A simple bad mood becomes a psychological case study. A short conversation becomes something you replay for hours. And instead of just feeling the emotion, you start monitoring it. That's when self-awareness can quietly turn into overthinking. You notice your own flaws in real time. One of the hardest parts of self-awareness is catching yourself while you're doing the thing you wish you didn't do. You notice when you're being defensive. You notice when you're seeking validation. You notice when your ego is trying to protect you. And that can be uncomfortable because it removes the easy excuse of ignorance. Psychology often talks about cognitive dissonance, that uncomfortable tension between who you think you are and how you actually behave. Self-aware people feel this tension deeply because they can see the gap between the person they want to become and the version of them that still reacts from fear, pride, insecurity, or habit. You outgrow people before you're ready to leave them. When you become more self-aware, you start noticing patterns in others too. You notice who drains you, who only reaches out when they need something, who makes you shrink yourself, who keeps repeating the same cycle, but refuses to see it. And this can create a strange kind of loneliness, because you may still care about these people, you may still love them, but you can no longer pretend certain things don't affect you. Self-awareness changes what you tolerate. Not because you think you're better than anyone, but because you're finally honest about what certain environments do to you. And sometimes growth doesn't feel like becoming stronger. Sometimes it feels like slowly becoming unable to fit where you used to belong. You become responsible for your own patterns. This might be the heaviest part. Once you understand your triggers, your habits, your fears, and your coping mechanisms, you can't keep blaming everything on the world. At some point, self-awareness asks you a difficult question. Now that you know, what are you going to do about it? And that's where many people get stuck, because awareness feels meaningful. But awareness alone doesn't change your life. You can understand your avoidance and still avoid. You can understand your fear and still let it control you. You can understand your potential and still waste it. The real cost of self-awareness is responsibility. Because once you see the pattern, you either break it or you keep choosing it. And that truth can be painful. Here are my final thoughts. So yes, being self-aware is powerful. It helps you grow. It helps you heal. It helps you stop living on autopilot. But it also comes with a cost. You think more deeply. You feel more honestly. You notice what others ignore. And sometimes you carry a level of awareness that makes life feel heavier than it looks from the outside. But here's the lesson. Self-awareness is not meant to punish you. It's meant to guide you. The goal isn't to analyze yourself forever. The goal is to understand yourself enough to finally move differently. Because the most self-aware person in the room isn't the one who sees every flaw. It's the one who sees the truth and still chooses to grow. If this made you think about yourself a little differently, subscribe for more psychology that helps you understand the person you're becoming.